What's up, y'all? I'm back. I'm back. And I am going to show you a video from Court TV. But first, you know what? First, I just want to say welcome. Welcome to my stream. So, yeah, if you have not subscribed to my channel on Instagram or YouTube, or Facebook or any of that, go ahead. That information is down below. She Major Creative. I'm on TikTok as well. So yeah, hopefully y'all can hear me because I've been talking this whole time. So hopefully y'all can hear me. I'm gonna say it again. Welcome to my stream. I'm gonna show you a video. Drug addict sues boyfriend for relapse. All right, so here we go.
Plaintiff Tiffany Morales was 9 months sober when she started dating the defendant, and she thought he was the man of her dreams. However, after they got engaged, Tiffany says the defendant became controlling and enabled her relapse, so she's suing for emotional distress. Defendant Marquis Shambles says throughout his relationship with Tiffany, he did nothing but try to help her stay sober and stay safe. Marquis claims he was traumatized by Tiffany's relapse and drug use, and he's countersuing for car damages and emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding.
I love me some Greg Mathis.
You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Okay, Judge, I met what I thought would be the man of my dreams in church. I was actually 9 months sober at the time, and we spoke quite often after that. He actually found me on Facebook, and we spoke every day, almost 8 hours, sometimes 6 to 8 hours a day while he was at work, getting to know each other. I was in a very good place at the time, coming out of rehab as a recovering alcoholic addict. Literally in such a good awakening. I had such a good freedom. I was liberated. I had 2 programs that I worked on a daily, a sponsor. I would go to church. I had a very good routine. It does say in the program that you're not supposed to get in.
Good for her. Good for her, because people, if you've ever been in a situation like this, you know that a lot of people will not get the support and the help and follow through on the 12 steps like they supposed to follow through. But clearly she had a desire, from what I see, to follow through on this. So yeah, good for her.
Involved in
Correct.
the
That was
first.
my next comment after you
sir.
finish.
However, Mr. Shamble was very, very just, I thought it was the God sent. I thought he was the one that was going to do what I had asked God to do, like the house, the car, the business, and that's exactly what he did. On top of not understanding the process that I held, where I came from, my dark past. We would talk for hours and he would ask about these things, and I would tell him, you know, the desires of my hearts, the things that I would want to do for my future, start my own treatment center, want to help young girls that are on cocaine and have active addiction issues, toxic relationships, and he would put value into it. And then it started around February when he asked me to marry him. It just started getting controlling. Like, he didn't like my sponsor. He didn't want me going to meetings. He didn't want me to go.
No,
he didn't want me to go to
I'm
meetings.
sorry.
He didn't want me to go to.
Sorry, her sponsor, she was saying a lot of negative things about me and bending
To
over
you.
in front of me. She was making issues with our relationship, and it was how they was responding. It wasn't me. They were responding, and she's bringing stuff back to me.
Go ahead,
So
ma'am.
it wasn't a control issue.
Okay.
Okay. So there was some issues between the sponsor and I, and me and her actually went. I said she wasn't going to be my sponsor anymore
And do
because
you
I
think that played a role? Your relationship played a role?
It definitely did. So in March of 22, I was asked to go back out to the recovery center that I did very well at.
Who asked you? You say you were asked.
I was asked to go speak.
Oh, got
at
it.
my
All right.
At my 1 year anniversary. He was very adamant on me not going. We needed to save money for the house. We needed to save.
Okay, so this dude, she clearly making him look bad. Like he messed up with her sponsor. He don't like her sponsor. He don't want her to go back to these meetings and follow her dreams. Like, yo, that's weird. Okay, let's keep watching.
Money for furniture in the house. Don't go. You don't have the money for it. We have to buy the house. We're always looking at houses.
Sorry, sir.
We're
She wanted
always
me to pay
doing-
for it, and I didn't have the funds to
I
do
did
so.
not want you to pay for
Sorry,
it.
me paying
Objection.
for something that I'm already paying for other things
They were going to
for
pay
her.
for it.
So it's not that I didn't want her to do it. I just don't have the money to give it to her.
You're
And
right.
so with her meaning to want to be there, and I know how much it meant to her, I even tried to see if I could set some things aside. So it wasn't that I was trying to discourage her from going, because that would have been a good thing for her to actually do.
Wow.
But it's not that what she's saying.
I was very hurt because I wanted to go, but I didn't want to ruin the relationship. I thought marriage was happening. I had a ring on my finger 1 month, and then he'd ask for it back. I talked to him
How
for
many
a
times
few,
did that happen?
3 times.
Oh, hold on. Let me say something. Excuse me. Number one,
Man, anytime that happen, if he asks for his ring back, like anytime you having doubts and stuff like that, just don't do it. Don't do it, sis. Just whoever, just be friends.
when I went over her house one time, I walked
There
in her
was
room
no
and I seen
infidelity.
a guy she was actually doing drugs with, running the street with. He was still riding her, and they were corresponding back and forth. I said, "What is this?" And she told me about the guy, so I knew his name already. So I was, why are you still talking to him? And then my trust started kind of dwindling down, and that was after I gave her the ring. This is all after that fact. I went to go get her from a place she wasn't supposed to be. Number one, she was at a bar. Number two, it was a place she used to roll at all the time. And I'm like, you don't need to be there, right?
You would join me
hold on,
for a beer.
excuse me. At this point of time that I literally went over there, listen, to look after you, period, to look after you. I got there, she's dancing, she's doing this, doing that. That's her own stomping ground. I said, you don't really need to be here. I said, can we leave? Now, outside of sitting.
He is right though. That is the point. You hanging out at the barber shop, you gonna get that haircut you looking for. So there's no reason, if you done made all these changes, that you should be going back to your old stomping grounds. And he's absolutely correct.
There, and I did have one beer, and that's because I'm patronizing. Now, sitting there on doing that, she's, give me another one, give me another one. She's in the car. I'm like, look, you cannot drive the car home. Guess what she did? Jumped in the car. She got 4 DUIs already. She jumped in the car, took off. And I'm like, why are you hitting it like that? Like, you can't drive home like you got some sense? Get home. Literally, she took out her bra and literally did a bump in front of me and said, oh, I'm sorry. I said, what are you doing? I don't mess with drugs, or nobody that does it. You know
And
that.
you should have never messed with me.
She's, give me another one, give me another one. She's in the car. I'm like, look, you cannot drive the car home. Guess what she did? Jumped in the car. She got 4 DUIs already. She jumped in the car, took off. And I'm like, why are you hitting it like that? Like, you can't drive home like you got some sense? Get home. Literally, she took out her bra and literally did a bump in front of me and said, oh, I'm sorry. I said, what are you doing? I don't mess with drugs, or nobody that does it.
Man, that's just it sounds like, maybe she was just really trying to party hard. Like, okay, wow, let's keep going. I don't know what I would do. Like, wait a minute, you ain't clearly as far along as you said you are.
You know
And you
that.
should have never messed with me.
Defendant Marquis Shamble is being sued by his ex-fiancée, who claims Marquis drove her to relapse after being sober for 9 months, and he even gave her alcohol.
Go ahead.
Now, You can blame everybody for everything that you got going on in your life. But if I showed up for every single time for you in your life, I showed up for your kids. I got your daughter a job. I got
And
your
you got
son
her fired.
No, I
And you got her fired.
Check it out. I talked
and
to her
you got
mother.
her fired.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I talked to her mother.
Yes, you did.
Her
and
mother.
you manipulated my mother. Talked about the black web. And you left me in Vegas. You knew I was an addict and alcoholic before you met me. All you did was manipulate me, control me, and you literally cost me my liberated freedom from my program. Now I need to go back to treatment because of you.
Hold on, wait. The August 29th, so you should have it in the notes right now. August 29th.
Just like you left me in Vegas and you had such a bad time. But here we are right here, Judge.
August 29th.
You all were surfing around, and I was allowing him to address this allegation he has. You have anything you want to say regarding this bar incident?
Yes.
What do you want to say?
That was Father's Day. My father was a recovering alcoholic, and I was very, very, very distraught that day. And yes, I did go back to the bar. That was the day I relapsed. Mind you, he was offering me drinks at restaurants.
Ooh.
Margaritas. Margaritas. Have a margarita. He was buying wine and beer.
I had wine that was left at my house. And yes, I don't drink much at all.
Did you drink it around her?
No. It was left there. And she wanted a drink. I'm sitting there like, well, if it's just wine, it shouldn't matter. I'm like, okay. And this was right after the incident that happened at the bar. Hold on. Right after that incident that happened at the bar. Now, as far as her telling you this Father's Day or whatever.
Did you ever read up on your fiance's condition? Something that she suffers and struggles with. Have you bothered to take time to read up? And if she was that important to you, that's the first thing you should have done.
Yes, sir.
And I want all viewers to know when you have a relative or a loved one that's struggling, you need to read up, learn about it. People with mental illness, same thing. Read up on it. Now, what you want me?
And there's programs just like there's recovery programs for the people who are addicts. There are programs for people who support addicts. So they both should have been in doing some type of program. He should have been in a program. She should have been in a program. That way they could do it the right way if that's what they wanted to do together and he was supporting her. So, yeah. Because it takes a lot. It takes a lot to support somebody that's an addict. No doubt about it. It's going to take a toll on your relationship.
What you want to tell me?
There's two sides to Tiffany, okay? And the one I met in the church, literally, I fell in love with, and I would do anything for her. I mean anything for her to help her. I believed in her. When she came from the ashes, she really came from the ashes, and she built herself up, and that I was proud of. I honestly believe she's not only she has qualities, great qualities. I'm not diminishing that at all whatsoever. That's why I put my name up there for her kids. That's why I tried to do a lot of things for her. However, this is a call history of August 29th when the vehicle that she was driving, that she was drunk, that she got a call from her daughter. Her daughter actually had told her that she was approached by 8 men in a ski mask. This is what she told me, not only on the phone, but the fact that when she left my house, she was going there. Now, I know when she pulled up, she told me she was drinking. I said, well, what are you going to do? You stay here or what? No, I'm going to check on my kids. When she came back to my house, which is 12:15, she walked in, told me she's going hysterical. She's all wired up, coked up or whatever. She literally tells me, I hit a car. I don't know how to do it. I'm like, wait a minute.
I have the driving record right here.
You hit a car, and not only did you hit a car, you drove off. Not only did you drive off.
That's the car in question.
That's the car in question with the damage.
Okay, you jumped way ahead of everything. So let me hear from you, ma'am. Well, tell me the incidents you want me to know about.
Okay, so
help prove your emotional distress.
Right.
Go ahead.
Prior to all of the extra, he asked me, he said, hey, my birthday's coming up, August 30th. I want you to come to Vegas with me, this and this and that. I want you to buy the tickets. And then he ends up leaving me out there because I lost a client. I lost a job, per se. And I got very emotionally distressed. Mind you, I was already into the relapse. And so when I tried to pull out of that, he didn't want to control it or come down. He started arguing with me in the room. So the people of the hotel security came and asked us what was going on. I went down to the pool. He literally kicked me out in a 2-piece bathing suit while I was wet. He did not let me get any of my belongings. He literally had all my belongings at the front gate or the front desk. He was dressed to a T, better than the zoot suit now that he has on. So he was dressed to a T, going out while I was in a wetsuit with a coverall, with my bag, not knowing where I was going. Ended up running into an individual that robbed me, took my phone. I had no way of getting anything out of my phone.
Where were you at when you were robbed?
Walking down the strip, down from the better part of the strip, down to the diamond, wherever I was at, to the bad part. Identifying with.
In front of all those people?
I was literally walking. Yes.
In front of the thousands of people?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was.
They took the phone and they took.
And well, the gentleman that I met walking, he's like, hey, where you? Well, I'm walking in a 2-piece. I have like this coverall, oh, I got a cheaper hotel this way. Hey, can I use your phone? This and that. That's how that happened. I trusted the gentleman. He used my phone. He took off with it. I never seen him again. He got back on the plane. I was out there 1 week and 2 days, literally in the most heaviest addiction I ever have. I still have night terrors.
What do you think he should have done when he?
Wait a minute. You was in Vegas for a whole week? A whole week you was in Vegas and he had already left? Like, really? Well, wait a minute, this story done took a whole nother shit. Something else is going on. And somebody stole your phone and you didn't have nowhere to stay? Like, nah, something ain't right.
He couldn't cope with your addiction.
Separated. I'm accountable for my own actions. I'm definitely accountable. I should have separated
That's
and him
what he
separated.
Did. He did separate
He
you.
kicked me out in the streets. I never seen him again. He got back on the plane. I was out there 1 week and 2 days, literally in the most heaviest addiction I ever have. I still have night terrors.
What do you think he should have done when he felt he couldn't cope with your addiction?
Separated. I'm accountable for my own actions. I'm definitely accountable. I should have separated
That's
and him
what he
separated.
Did. He did separate
He
you.
kicked me out in the streets.
Defendant Marquis Shamble is being sued by his ex-fiancée, who claims Marquis drove her to relapse after being sober for 9 months, and he even gave her alcohol.
I just don't know what you expect if you're high off of crack and you're acting out that. Oh, I thought you said you had relapsed and you were back into it. Okay, that's
at that point. Same
I got
difference.
you, ma'am. I don't know what you want people to do when you're severely drunk and you're confrontational. I don't know. You should separate, but I can't tell you who should spend whose money on a room based on who's doing what. I don't know. Maybe he didn't know what to do because, quite frankly, based on what you told me, I wouldn't know what to do either. Correct. I would have left the room. I wouldn't have locked you out, but I would have left. I would have packed my things like him and left, but wouldn't have locked you out. But you tell me what happened.
Went to the hotel, got on the strip. From the strip, she started drinking more. I'm like, look, let's just call it a night, just go home.
I'd already been
this point, the next morning we get up, she literally accuses me of taking her Xanax. She bought 20 pills. I said, what? But in my mind, it's playing back. All right, so you taking drugs on a plane. You crash the car.
Xanax.
No, she don't even have insurance. So
I definitely have.
Listen, the whole point I'm making is that,
ma'am, your name wasn't at the front desk to go and get a key to come back.
No, he took my stuff off of the establishment, so I wasn't able to get a key. No, because I asked them. I said, "Am I able to get a key and possibly?" So
he used his card to check in. And,
correct.
All right.
Yes.
I did, Your Honor, offer her a room. They had the information. Here's the thing stating from her saying, hey, instead of you texting, I'm done. I did nothing but support her.
And all I wanted to do was, he didn't support me.
How to get a different room.
Okay, so.
You see that? Read that text about how this is what we need to do. Instead of me leaving you in the lurch, I'm going to get a separate room for you.
I had right here.
Volatile right now.
No, he didn't.
Yes, sir. 3 times.
I was on the phone with my sponsor when he did this on FaceTime. And she literally was baffled. And I ended up falling worse into addiction because I ended up identifying with other people in that same area. Getting back home, thank God, alive, and wanting now to get into treatment. They have a bed open tomorrow.
I'm just trying to figure out what happened to her hair. The whole time I'm looking at this, I'm like, when did her hair get jacked up? But then I I know that it been jacked up from the beginning. Like, it's a ponytail. Like, how can your hair get jacked up in a ponytail? I know that's besides the point, but look at her ponytail, y'all. Like, look at that. That don't make no sense.
At the
Here.
same center that I was at.
Right here.
What page?
On page 11, sir. If that's cool, whatever you want. Sober up if you want to talk. If
I
not,
just read that.
Okay, that's cool. Whatever you want. Sober up if you want. If not, you can't come to my room, period. I don't need no problems. If you want a room paid for, let me know now.
right. And on page 12, anything
That's when my
that
phone
is the
was
third
already
time that I'm
stolen.
asking you. I don't want to see you out on the street, regardless of your situation. You got, Judge, I tried. I
Next
called her
incident,
mom.
ma'am.
So the next
Wow.
incident, I had already had my phone stolen. I had already gotten robbed.
No.
I was literally
You didn't
staying.
have to, ma'am. He offered you a room.
I did-
Save all that, ma'am.
Well,
Save all that. Save all that. You know this ain't nothing nobody wants to hear from a crackhead who is relapsing, like somebody has done something to you. He has done
not.
zero to you.
Right. He's
You relapsed in Vegas.
I
You
relapsed
did all
before.
this to yourself. He's done nothing to you. And you
Man, he got out of Dodge. Like, he freaking dodged a bullet so fast. That man was like, look, hey, I get you a room and whatnot, but you bringing drugs to the room, you getting drunk, you doing all this extra stuff. Like, you supposed to be in, you supposed to be in recovery right now, doing your 12 steps, calling your sponsor, blah, blah, blah. Like, you ain't doing none of that. She went to Vegas and showed out. Like, and then she made him seem like the bad guy. This dude just went home. Like, he did the right thing. Do if somebody being messy, like, don't even try to help them. Don't just go. Just leave them alone, because they know what's up.
You come in here with these dope fiend crackhead stories and think that I'm gonna jump on your side and start crying with you after you've done this to yourself, after years and years and years of knowing what this does. You go over and you say, well, he made me drink. He made me do.
I'm
That is what
accountable.
you said. You did say at one point he made you drink.
I'm accountable for my own.
Well, then act like it. Don't come in
That's
here
not trying to get
acting
you.
like he's the devil when in fact he's done nothing but try to help you and your children. Go ahead. What else you want me to know about?
I would like to say that when I was on my way out of the hotel, that's where I met
Man,
the
we're
gentleman.
done with that. He offered you. I don't want to hear anything else about that hotel.
that's-
He offered you one. You made this man look like the devil.
Well,
and
you
he
know-
showed me
Okay.
where he was the most
If
generous and
if I would've
courteous man
got-
he could be. So you're not in recovery at all, ma'am. You're demonstrating dishonesty.
I'm
Number
saying
one rule.
literally with
You're
the 1
demonstrating. I
year
know it. I
and the
know
1
it. You're
year.
demonstrating no remorse or regret for your actions. Number two, you're blaming your other people for your problem. Number three, everything you're doing is against recovery. I see why you relapse, and you will continue to relapse if that's the attitude you're going to take
That's
about
fine.
life
Try
and
it.
about other people who've done nothing but try and help you. You're not in recovery at all, ma'am. You're demonstrating dishonesty.
I'm
Number one rule.
literally with
You're
the 1
demonstrating. I
year
know it. I
and the
know
1
it. You're
year.
demonstrating no remorse or regret for your actions. Number two, you're blaming your other people for your problem. Number three, everything you're doing is against recovery. I see why you relapse, and you will continue to relapse if that's the attitude you're going to take about other people who've done nothing but try and help you.
Defendant Marquis Shamble is being sued by his ex-fiancée, who claims Marquis drove her to relapse after being sober for 9 months, and he even gave her alcohol.
What else you want me to know, ma'am?
What they say, no good deed goes unpunished. Like, for real. Like, he went and took somebody that was basically, the word beneath is not the right word, but I'm just say beneath him, and try to bring them into a different lifestyle. Like, you can't really do that with people who just don't have their life together, or who got all this bad stuff going on. Like, the most you can do is, offer them some assistance, but to try to be in a relationship with somebody like that, it always turns into some mess. Like, I ain't never seen it work. And this is one of those occasions. And again, what's going on with her here?
For your emotional distress claim.
I would really like to get back into treatment, so that's my next move. I will take accountability for everything that you just said, because in the state of mind that I was in and the state of mind that he put me in, I cannot say it was his fault, because it wasn't. I chose to drink. I chose to do those things. I am choosing to get back into recovery. I would like to get back into treatment, to reestablish, to grow, to try to really work the program, because it doesn't work if you don't work it. And really focus on self, and really focus on why I went through what I went through, and not backslide, because I don't want to die.
That's recovery for you, and we're going to make sure that you're able to do all three of those things. You're talking like a person who's recovered now. Give me another incident you might want to tell me about to prove emotional distress.
So he came and took the 2020 Tucson, which I don't blame him.
When?
He picked that up on a Saturday afternoon about a month ago. So
Under what pretense? I mean, it was in his name and you weren't paying? What?
no, I have all the payments here. I was paying, but I was under the understanding that he knew that my bank statement or my bank account for my business had a situation. So I had to close one bank account out and get another bank account. So it looked like it bounced, but it didn't. He was actually on the phone when I made the first one-time payment. So he took the truck. He would not communicate with me to get the truck back. Now it's in both of our names. I have on page 22 all the payments I've made since we've had the truck.
Sir, let me hear from you on the truck.
I'm the primary, and because of that, she's exposing me to
credit.
To that nature, and now the fact that I've helped multiple times with little things.
Were you late before on car payments?
No, sir.
Never.
Never.
All right. You have any evidence that she was late? She said she was never late once.
They called me when I got back home, after she got back home, and we had talked. I literally.
They who?
The
finance company?
Yeah, the finance company.
And said she was late?
No, they sent me a paper saying it was 10 days late.
What do you say to that, ma'am? It wasn't 10 days late?
No, sir. I have.
You were not 10 days late?
I was not 10 days
All
late.
right, well,
I have the evidence here.
I got you.
There were the payments from July and August from my accounts, from my bank accounts that weren't late, but the system showed that it was late. It was not late.
How many days did the system show me?
It wasn't. It wasn't.
I know. How many days did the system show?
It didn't even show here. It just shows assessment return payment. So they took it out of the bank. So they had to switch the account. I had it on an auto pay.
Talking about? You double talking.
I'm sorry. I had it on auto pay. So when it was on auto pay, he was on the phone when I made the payment. The truck was never late.
No, but you said there was a malfunction in the payment.
Yeah, there was a. Yeah, that's
what I need to know about. Explain
yes, there was a malfunction in the payment.
Tell me. Explain it. I don't understand.
So the malfunction in the payment was where my business account was actually closed. I had to reopen another business account because of some stolen checks in my neighborhood that were on my front door. So when they reopened, I forgot to call my lender to tell them. So, but I made the payment on time. However, when it went through the auto pay, it pulled out of the wrong account.
Got it.
So
you have any evidence of that?
It's right here.
What page?
On page 22. It was both of the situations were happening because of the.
That's when she was late with the $80 that I paid, and then I paid the next
How
month,
come I
which is
cannot talk?
$850.
You have talked, ma'am. You've talked a whole lot.
I'm telling.
In fact, you've been double talking a little bit here. All right. And what is your counterclaim for, sir? How does she owe you?
For the damages on the vehicle, the
There was
2020 Tucson. Like I said, she came back from our house after that long whatever. She came in the house. She told me she had an accident. That's when she started doing the drugs. I said, I can't deal with this. Yada yada. Went outside, looked and assessed the damages. This is before we even left to go to Vegas that same night. I tried to work it out with her, which I'm like, hey, I just paid another $850 literally when I got home because this is what they're telling me.
He paid extra.
It's not an extra if they tell me I owe it.
Defendant Marquis Shamble is being sued by his ex-fiancée, who claims Marquis drove her to relapse after being sober for 9 months, and he even gave her alcohol.
What have you all discussed about paying for the damage?
She won't talk to me.
He has communicated.
She literally told me to my
What did you say to it today?
He has not said
I
any.
know we're communicating today. What do you say to it
There
today?
was never an accident.
Put that down. I don't want that.
Okay, well, that was
Let's
the
talk
Geico.
about there was never an accident.
There was never an
Do you have
accident.
evidence that there was an accident?
Yes, I sent pictures to photos.
There's no file.
What
There
page?
was no
What
police.
page?
Here, let me get it real quick.
There was no police
Photos of-
report made. I called all this.
There was what?
There was no police report made. I called
That
all
wasn't.
the.
That's not an issue.
Like
Now
for
you're sounding like a crackhead, ma'am. Now you're sounding just like a crackhead. You're already coming across like one who is all this double talk and transactional and
34.
checks were lost. I thought it was this account.
He's
There were
made me-
checks on the porch that were
Yeah.
stolen.
There
All
was.
that sounds exactly like a crackhead. Now you're.
2 to 34.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it.
Unbelievable.
Ma'am, I believe you are still a crackhead. That's what I believe, and I'm glad you've asked us to help you,
Get treatment.
and we're willing to do so.
Thank you, sir.
But you will remain a crackhead as long as you keep lying as you are. Hopefully, when you come out, you won't. Your claim is totally dismissed. Yours is granted. I believe little or none of what you said today. Have a good day, good luck in recovery.
Thank you so
and
much, sir.
Find you a woman that can appreciate the work and the type of person that you are. I wish I was a woman, I'd marry you. Have a good day. Your claim dismissed, yours is granted.
I don't wish nothing bad on you, your family. I care about your family. You know I do. Just as I care about you, and I hope one day that God blesses you to get through your recovery and you just continue to rise.
It should have been over with the first day I met him when he paid my
have.
tithing in church and he
It
talked
should
down
have
on the
been
pastor and all the people in the church and walked around with his Bible and then walked around with wine. But I'm the crackhead. That's
heard
okay.
it.
You played a good game though.
said it was
You played
lies.
a good game. You wore
Just says you lying.
wore your hat.
Here you go.
wore your hat. Good for you, Aplauso.
After the case, Tiffany took Judge Mathis up on his offer and went to rehab for 30 days. Now here's Tiffany in a Mathis moment to tell us how she's doing.
Hi, Tiffany here. I'm just checking in to give a quick update on my progress. I am 50 days sober today. Thankful to Judge Mathis and his amazing team of coordinators. What Judge Mathis said on the show prior to me going to treatment weren't words to hurt me, but they were words to encourage me that I could do better. I'm going to continue on my journey, Judge Mathis, and I'm going to spread the seed of hope to people that really want change. So, Judge Mathis, again, thank you for just an amazing opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah, so what y'all think about that one? She really like made him out to be a bad guy, like really made him out to be a bad guy. And he was doing nothing but trying to support her. But really, I honestly feel this way. Like, I wouldn't be with somebody and put them in a position to where I'm their downfall. Like, you, it's just some things that you should know as a person in a better position than that person to say, nah, this is not gonna work. This person is not gonna be the person for me. We wouldn't intertwine well. I mean, it just wouldn't work like this. So yeah, but anyhow, do y'all think that the judge's decision was fair? Um, Let me know. Yes or no if you think it's fair. And, thank y'all for watching and tuning in. Stay tuned, for my next streams and whatnot. Hope to see you all back again. And by the way, if you want to donate, you can definitely donate to the channel by scanning the donate tab QR code at the top of the screen. And if you are interested in finding out more about this do that I have, you can scan that QR code there and it'll take you right to Amazon. This is called Ryan. I have her in the color 99J. And so if you're interested, scan that QR code. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.